Good evening and welcome to Hampshire. I'm with Ian from Rudge Outdoors again.
Hiya.
And we've got a very special video. So this weekend, myself and Ian are going to be taking part in the Great Tommy Sleepout, which is run by the Royal British Legion. We're raising money for the 6,000 plus a year homeless veterans that are suffering from things like PTSD or drug or alcohol addiction, and through no fault of their own end up homeless after returning from serving our country. You may remember a couple of years ago I did the Great Tommy Sleepout, where I camped on both sides of the English Channel in 24 hours, Dover and Calais. I said we're in Hampshire, we're in Southampton to be precise. We're at the ferry terminal because we are going over to the Isle of Wight, people. The first time Tom Outdoors has been to the Isle of Wight. I cannot wait. So the plan is we are going to try and wild camp tonight on the east coast of the island, and then tomorrow night, Saturday night, we're going to camp on the west coast of the island, quite close to the Needles, quite a famous scenic hotspot on the island. We're just waiting for our ferry to dock, and then we'll be driving on, and we'll be on the ferry for about an hour across the Solent to the Isle of Wight. We were just discussing it's probably one of the most expensive areas of water to cross in the world. No joke. Definitely. So for myself and Ian and a car both ways, it cost, well, we paid out £175 for this. I think it was about that in the end, wasn't it? About 170 odd. Ouch. So wow. It's a lot of money.
Southampton is the cruise capital of the world, and there's lots of boating going on, but with the Isle of Wight, the only way to and from it, and that's freight, commercial stuff, and people commuting, is by ferry. So the ferry companies have got you to and from the Isle of Wight. They make the most of it.
So it's the only real way on. We've gone with Red Funnel. We will be arriving at, is it East Cowes?
Correct.
We're going down to sort of like the east coast to, I think it's like the remains of like a World War II gun battery overlooking the sea. I think it's at Culver down. Bit of a long journey. It took me 3 hours to get from Essex down to Southampton. It was meant to take 2 hours, but Friday afternoon traffic is a nightmare as always. We've got some fantastic ciders, 4 ciders brewed, bottled from the Isle of Wight. My mum went on a holiday there quite a while ago and got me these 4 ciders, so we're going to have 2 tonight hopefully, and then 2 tomorrow night. I've got a British Army 24-hour ration pack. I thought keep it with the military theme, the Tommy Sleepout. I've got that for tomorrow night. Tonight just some dehydrated meals, just something basic because we're going to be getting there really late. I've got a new tent as well to show you as well. We've got a choice of 2 tents because we've got the car. I thought, well, I can just chuck everything in here. So if the weather's really bad, I've got the Van Gogh Helvellyn 2-person tent. But the new tent I've got is mine and Dawn's. It's a Van Gogh Banshee 2-person. This will be its maiden voyage. Talking of maiden voyages, Southampton is famous for being where the Titanic left.
Yeah, literally about probably about 400 metres from where we are now.
Hopefully we have more success.
Touch wood.
Definitely, yeah. It promises to be a really fun weekend for a really good cause. So if you could spare a £5 or whatever, donate, and that'd be awesome.
So Tom, I think let's get merry. Take the ferry.
Bye bye Southampton, see you on Sunday. Okie dokie, we have arrived in East Cowes on the Isle of Wight. The weather sort of died down a bit on there. It wasn't as windy up at the front of the boat. It's not the front, is it? What do you call it? The bow, the stern.
Bow sounds good.
Starboard. Abandoned ship. I don't know. Iceberg. I've no idea. I don't do nautical terms. Someone's going to go, no, it's the stern or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter anyway. We're on the Isle of Wight. We've made it. It is 25 to 9. It's a late one. Excellent. Right, well, we'll see you at Culver Down near Bembridge. We have arrived at Culver Down beacon, and what looks like an absolute massive World War II gun battery here. Like, to get to this little car park, we had to go in between like these like sort of concrete like revetments or like walls that were all sort of grass topped and stuff. Looked amazing, and we've got a fantastic view from the car park alone in the distance there of like the mainland. I'm guessing, don't know where we are.
That's,
you know,
probably Portsmouth, I would have thought.
Yeah, because we think we can see the Spinnaker Tower. We've got our Great Tommy Sleep Out beanie hats. At the moment, I think we've raised £155, so we've raised like the minimum requirement to get the hats and the fundraising pack and information about the charity and whatnot. So I will tell you more about that later. So that's the brand new Van Gogh Banshee 200 all set up. It's quite spacious looking. It looks really wide. So this is going to be one of mine and Dawn's new wild camping tents for when we're doing like long distance routes. You know, we want a lightweight tent, fairly stealthy, you know, can withstand a bit of punishment, but can, you know, squeeze two of us in. So it's got two doors. Got this door here that I've got closed up. Loads of guy lines and air vents, and then we've got this door round here as well. The doors on first inspection look quite small, so a little bit cramped. This isn't going to be a full tent review, by the way. I understand it is very dark and late, so not ideal, but yeah, this is what we're talking about inside. I've got my OEX 3 season synthetic bag. I've got a silver foam mat as usual, a silver ground sheet underneath, and then under here is this new, I think it's called an Xped Sin mat. So both my climate mats, after quite a lot of service, about 3 years, have died on me, and I bought this. Wasn't super expensive. I've also got a little flex tail mini pump for pumping it up with. So I've got this new Trekology pillow. Yeah, it's Trekology. I've got this Van Gogh pillow. Ian's bottle opener that he kindly gave me on the South Downs Way. We'll be using that. Softy trousers. If you're not using softy trousers, honestly, get yourself some. They are so warm and comfy. Oh, got a new stove as well. This is the new stove. It's the OEX Hero. It's like the mini version of the Tucana, which I've got. This hasn't been used yet either. So there. So we've got lids. We've got the stove itself. New gas canister. There's the pot. So it's like a, I don't know, what you call it, like, you know, piezo igniter, kind of like a jet boil. I made this myself. It's a what you call it, like a cozy for dehydrated meals. They'll rehydrate quicker. The first of two ciders this weekend from the Isle of Wight. So this one is called Rumpy Pumpy Scrumpy, the medium dry one from God's Hill Cider. Or is it God's Hill Cider? Probably God's Hill Cider.
God's Hill, yeah.
It's 6%, produce of the Isle of Wight. At God's Hill Cider, we've been making our own cider from hand-picked Isle of Wight apples since 1976. Rumpy Pumpy Scrumpy is the original one, a popular medium dry cider made using traditional methods since the company's early days. Probably a good one to start with then. We've retained and perfected many of its qualities over the years. Fruity and robust, it always hits the spot. The distinct character of our ciders is created from a careful blend of specially selected cider apples from our orchards: Yarlington Mill, Pig Snout, Porter's Perfection, Somerset Red Streak, Sweetcleave, Tan Harvey, Taunton Fairmaid, Town Farm number 59, Tremlett's Bitter, and White Alphington. That's a lot of apples.
Wow.
A lot of apples going on there. That's a whole orchard. Right. Here we go. Let's use the bottle opener. Strong smelling. I'm not sure if they're out of date or not. I can't see a date on it. Here it is, the Rumpy Pumpy Scrumpy from God's Hill Cider Company. The medium dry one, 6%. Direct from the Isle of Wight. Here's to a fantastic weekend for a fantastic cause as well. The RBLI Great Tommy Sleep Out. Cheers to our veterans.
Cheers.
Oh, that tastes awful. We're off to a good start. I don't know if it's maybe because it might be out of date, but it doesn't taste of vinegar. It's just very, very bland. I'd say more dry. There's no mediumness to it at all. And there's absolutely no fizz to it. Oh, right, Ian. We're going to have a try of that.
Well, you've sold it to me, Tom.
I know, I've really twisted your arm there. Go on, see what you think. I'm not impressed, but...
No, you're right, there's actually no bubbles in there at all.
No.
Appley sort of hue to it. Oh, hold on. God, no. No.
No. That's one for the hedge, innit?
No.
No. And we had some winners last time on the South Downs. Yeah, no, we are not liking that.
No.
Just like, I don't even think you need to really say anymore. Just no.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Going out of 10.
4.
4?
Yeah.
You're being generous there, aren't you?
Yeah, well, because we're on the Isle of Wight, and it's from the Isle of Wight, so...
Yeah, it gets it for that,
Yeah.
and it's sort of a funny name, I guess, but... No, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be really cruel here. I'm giving it a 2. Oh, this is on par with the awful ciders me and Dawn had one Halloween camp. A couple of years ago? Can't remember.
Oh, right, yeah.
In Derring Wood. They were awful. They were so bad. This is definitely up there. Yeah. Sorry about that. Good start to the weekend. Okay, after that abomination of a cider to start the weekend off, honestly, I'll get sent back on the ferry for that. That was awful. We're going to have Gatecrasher from the God's Hill Cider Company. This one is called the Strong One. Reason being, it's 8.4%. That's a like fall asleep in your shoes kind of.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, wear a nappy sort of job. It says Gatecrasher is the strong one in our range, not for the faint-hearted. Fermented to a bold 8.4%, this full-flavoured traditional cider is made from a variety of apples hand-picked on the Isle of Wight. Gatecrasher. Let's give it a try. Here we go. Will there be a fizz? Minimal fizz. Ian, do you want to do the honours and try this one first?
After the last one?
Yeah, go on.
Go on then, right. No real bubbles.
It's as flat as Essex.
It smells like the last one.
So it smelled like Essex then.
Tell you what, that's a strong version of the other one.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. Same again. I think probably a no from me. I mean, 8.4%, can't be sniffed at, but no, that's unfortunately, Tom, I'm sorry, mate, but that doesn't do it for me.
That's all right.
I'd still give it a 4, as I say, because it comes from the Isle of Wight, and Gatecrasher's got a bit of a funny, fancy name, but apart from that, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what you think.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Right, here we go. Cheers, everyone. Oh, it smells better. Yeah, it's got more flavour. compared to the other one. I'd say a lot of, so far, these two ciders, very weak tasting.
That's right,
but,
yeah.
But I think with this one, if you were like one of those cider drinkers that loves like original tasting cider, like sort of plain tasting cider,
Yeah.
then you'd probably like this. But there are better ones out there, I think, really, that you can get anywhere, even off like a supermarket shelf. You know, I'd say Strongbow's got more flavour than this so far. I'll probably give it a 3 out of 10. Sorry, Godzilla, you're not selling it to us. But yeah, that's your ciders for tonight. I'm sorry. So it may be late, but tonight, Matthew, I will mostly be eating Adventure Foods chicken curry. It's always a winner for me. And for dessert, I'll mostly be eating their vanilla dessert, Cadbury's hot chocolate. So it's going to be a good test for this new stove that I've got, the OEX Hero. And yeah, as you can see, it's just like a very small, like Jetboil copy. New gas canister as well, so it'll be a fair test for it. Enough yakking, let's get snacking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in my tent now. Ian's crawled into his Outkit Soloist XL tent. He's just a few metres away. So I thought I'd just show you some of the paperwork that we got as part of the fundraising packs, along with these are very snazzy Great Tommy Sleep Out beanie hats. Just introductory letter here. Bits about sort of the work they do and tips and stuff, where to hold your sleep out, accepting donations at your sleep out, safety, our top 10 tips for online fundraising. You can get some woven patches as well for when you hit a certain target. The next target's £250. We'll get a bronze badge, so come on people, if you could spare even £5, it's going towards a brilliant cause. Of course, there's like sponsorship forms here for if you're collecting by hand, not doing it online. It's just let you pause the video to read through it all, but it tells you about some of the people that they've helped. It's like this guy called James, who was serving in the armed forces. Yeah, they do some really good work to help veterans get back on their feet and stuff, dealing with their mental health really. And in this case, he self-medicated with alcohol, so it resulted in the breakdown of his marriage, many nights in shelters due to homelessness. You can find links through my Facebook, Ian's Facebook, through my Instagram as well, and there's links on my channel as well, but like I say, I'll put links in the video description below. So where does the term Tommy come from? The origins of the term Tommy is widely disputed. The most common interpretation is that the term comes from Tommy Atkins, which is slang for a common soldier in the British Army. It is known to have been used as early as 1743. However, the term Tommy was chosen as a generic name by the War Office in 1815. Legend has it that in World War I, German soldiers would call out Tommy across no man's land if they wanted to speak to a British soldier. Established in 1919, Royal British Legion Industries, the RBLI, helped and supported many wounded, injured and sick ex-forces personnel returning from war, and continued ever since, expanding its range of services through the funds it raises through charitable donations. RBLI Tommy represents military services and all those that have served for our country. My first thoughts of this Van Gogh Banshee is it's probably about the same amount of space as you get in the OEX Fox 2, but I would say there's probably less headroom actually. I'm not sure if I could sit up in this. It would be really cramped for two people, and me and Dawn can fit into the Fox 2 quite well. The doors, like the inner doors, like the orange doors, are tiny. But that being said, it's a well-made tent. I mean, you know, there's lots of good quality stitching and materials used. It's got like an internal band tensioning system. You can see this up here. So this goes through the wall, and I can tension and tighten the tent during the night if, you know, if the weather gets really bad. You know, I've heard lots of things about them. I know, you know, loads of people own one of these, and I thought it was about time I probably gave it a go. It could work for me and Dawn as, like I say, a 2-person lightweight little backpacking tent for multiple days, but I don't know, it just feels like we'd struggle to move about in here, whereas we can do that in the Fox 2, strangely enough, and we can sit up in it as well. This, I don't think I can. I mean, I've got quite a thick mat that I'm sat on, but like, yeah, I can't actually, my head is right up in the roof and I'm not really sat upright. The new Exped Sin mat that I'm laying on, it feels quite comfy and it feels quite warm. I'm not feeling any cold spots at the moment. The mat does feel quite narrow. The stove was pretty good. You can't fit a lot of water in it, probably 600ml, maybe 700ml at a real push. So I did have to fill it up twice to boil water for my dinner, dessert and a hot drink, but that's alright. It boiled really quick though. It's sort of got its own built-in windshield, and yeah, it probably boiled in a couple of minutes, I would say. It was pretty good. I was impressed with it. And this is my first time on the Isle of Wight, and I cannot wait to see what it's like in the daytime. So it's time to crawl into my sleeping bag and get some much needed rest. Can't wait. So enough yawning. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning all. It's coming up to 8 AM. Myself and Ian woke up and were out of the tent just before 6 AM this morning to catch a magnificent sunrise coming out of the sea in front of the tents. It was our first glimpse of the Isle of Wight in the daylight, and it did not disappoint. There's definitely not as much space in this tent as the OEX Fox 2, which is disappointing. The doors to get in and out of are very small. It feels like, for me, trying to fit through a porthole window. The new mat, the Exped mat, was actually quite comfy. It's very thick. I think it's like a 2.5 inch thick mat or something. So this is a better look at the new Exped sleeping mat that I've got. That's where the in valve is, and you open that up when it's deflated, and you pump with your hand on the mat there, and it blows the baffles up, so you don't need to blow air into the mat, which of course will cause mould to build up inside the mat. It takes ages though, pumping up with the hands, so I've got a little like another new gadget, of course. It's that a flex tail tiny pump, I think it's called. So it's called the Exped Versa 4RM, guessing medium. Sinmat technology, carbon neutral product, recycled 75D. I had this OEX Evolution Fathom EV300 synthetic bag. It's 3 season. It weighs just over a kilo, 1,050 grams. Comfort level 1 degree Celsius, limit -5 degrees Celsius, extreme -22 degrees Celsius. I've got this OEX Furnace 8 Plus thermal sleeping bag liner. Had some softy trousers, just ex-army surplus softies, and they're reversible as well, so there's like an olive green colour and then the other side is like a sand colour, so I suppose it depends on what terrain environment they were in, they can sort of stay camouflaged. But these are brilliant, they are so warm and so comfy, and they're really cheap as well. You can get them for under 30 quid. I've seen them as cheap as £12. They're ideal for winter camping. Underneath the Exped mat is just a Decathlon silver foam mat. That is about it really. I did have some thermals and stuff, but I never ended up putting them on. I just kept the stuff that I had on, and it kept me warm enough. This is the porch on this side of the tent. The other side is just a door, and you can fit a fair bit in there. You can fit a rucksack, boots, water bottles, rubbish. Yeah, it's quite useful. And this is that tension band system that I spoke of last night. So you're in the tent, you can tension from inside the tent just to, you know, increase the rigidity of the tent itself. Okay, so this is the Exped mat all packed up. It's quite bulky actually. I've got as much air out of it as I can. It feels pretty light, and there you go, there's some specs on it. And then this is the little flex tail gear pump, the mini pump. I'm trying to do all this one-handed. And there we go. So there's a few attachments, USB cable, the instruction manual, and yeah, and I believe it also works as a light as well. There we go. Yeah, because it's got a hanging loop. And I swear it's a lantern. Okay, so what you do, you just hold the button down, and then it's got a few different settings. So hold it down, and then just click it. Pretty cool. Decent little light that actually. It's a multi-use item that doesn't weigh a lot. It's quite good for all you lightweight, ultralight backpackers. I'm unsure whether I'm going to use this tent again tonight. I'm tempted to take my Van Gogh Helvellyn 2-person tent. That actually has got enough room for 2 people in it and all their gear. Plus the structure of it means that it actually can withstand wind a lot better. I've had it in some pretty bad storms and high winds, and it seems to do the trick. So I think it's going to be a lot windier on the west coast of the Needles. So this will probably be the last time you see this tent on this video. Like I say, me and Dawn will test it out together and see what we think. But I think for me it's like a spacious 1-person tent that I could maybe take on a solo route on my own, or if I meet up with someone else other than Dawn on my own. So sort of a mixed bag really in terms of my initial thoughts of this tent. I'm like, it's good, but I'm not sure I'd say it's great just yet. But give it time anyway, it's still early days. I'll show you the gun pits and stuff of this. I think it's a gun battery or a fort that we've camped next to, and Ian's parked his car in one of them, and we're going to have a little bit of breakfast there and chill out before we head on across the island and explore some more stuff. So yeah, enough talking and let's get walking. So as you can see, the little track that leads to the car park here has got these concrete walls all around it. We've just come from up there, and then we walk back along here. This is the way out. It's literally one road into this fault. Here's the first gun pit. So we were camped pretty much next to this. You can see the old ammunition lockers, and then the turntable where the massive gun would have been, and then the metal rings up there would have held chains, and it would have chained the gun in place because the recoil on these bad boys was strong. And then how cool's that? Some old concrete steps, and then you can see there's some sort of concrete structure here. So I reckon there was probably like a sub-level building in between the two gun pits. There's some steps up there, up to the mouth of the fault would have continued up there. Probably maybe an observation post up there to direct the field of fire. And then here we are, we're at the second gun pit. Some more steps. Yeah, this is the second gun pit. Here's Ian with the car cooking up breakfast. So this morning, Matthew, I'm mostly eating Adventure Foods Expedition breakfast. A peppermint and licorice tea. Had an energy gel somewhere, and then I've also made up a little energy drink from, I think it was like a Norwegian ration pack at some point. What was this one here? Yeah, it's going down a treat. Welcome back. We're on the west side of the Isle of Wight now. We're doing our second wild camp for the Great Tommy camp out for the RBLI. We are quite close to the famous Needles landmark attraction, the rock formation and lighthouse and old and new gun batteries that sort of jut out into the sea. The Atlantic Ocean, I believe it is. We found what looks like a little old gun battery again, or some sort of Napoleonic fort. Some ruins of that up on the cliffs, just sort of along the coast from there. We found somewhere to park the car overnight, and we've got about 3/4 of a mile walk, maybe a mile walk tops. So still not that far to walk. I've swapped out the tent. I'm taking the Van Gogh Helvellyn 2-person tent because it's better for windy conditions and bad weather, and I've got more space. I can sit up in it as well. I think where we're going to be tonight is probably going to be a lot windier, and we're heading off that way, following some footpaths using the map. So enough talking, let's get walking. So this is where we're heading to, the remains of Hatherwood Battery, built in the 1860s. From the summit here, there are panoramic views of West Wight and along the Dorset coastline. If you look closer, you can also discover fascinating reminders of the people who have shaped the landscape over the centuries. People from Neolithic times, about 5,000 years ago, cleared trees from Headham Warren to provide grazing land for their cattle and sheep. This created the open heathland, which is maintained today largely by the nibbling of rabbits. Records show that the hill was a warren in the 15th century where rabbits were farmed for food and fur. As you near the top of the hill, you will see lots of large hollows. These are the remains of quarries where flint gravel was extracted in the 19th century. The gravel was used for building roads and may have been used in the concrete for the nearby Hatherwood Battery. How about this for a view? And if this works out tonight, how about this for a wild camping spot? This could end up being one of the best locations I have ever wild camped at. We've got the Solent to our right and the mainland. Over there is Hurst Point. It's like a shingle spit. I think it's the closest point of the mainland to the Isle of Wight. And there's Fort Hurst on that side. There's another fort over here on the island, but I can't remember what it's called. And then ahead is the Atlantic Ocean, the Needles, the famous cliffs, the lighthouse and the stack of rocks sticking out in a line is just down there. And then I think at the end here is the remains of, I think it was Hatherwood Fort or Hatherwood Battery, which is where we want to try and camp for tonight. It's so windy here, and there's remains of brickwork and stuff from the old battery, and this path leads all the way down to the last gun positions that are left. Apparently there were 6 and they slipped down the undercliff, which is a little bit disconcerting. I mean, look at that, that's quite treacherous. If we pull this off, this would be incredible. This is what it's all about. Why wouldn't you want to do this? Why wouldn't you want to do this? So that's where the remaining gun pits are and ammunition lockers. So once that's vacated, because there's a couple of people up there, we'll head up there. That's probably where we're gonna sit and eat tonight and whatnot. So this may look like nice flat grass for camping on, but you can see the different colours in the grass outline the footings of old buildings from the gun battery. There's bits of exposed concrete over there. As I say, the gun pits are up there. There's a lot of concrete along here, along this raised part. And then, as Ian pointed out, you can see landslips all along here, and there's some more concrete from part of the battery over there as well. So yeah, we've got a decision to make really, where we want to camp. So what we're doing now is we're sat sort of down on the lower sort of staircase of the old gun battery behind the big concrete gun pits. It's out of the wind. We're planning on using one of the old ammunition lockers as like a fireplace. We've not actually got stuff for a fire, of course, but we're going to put our stoves in there, and hopefully that should speed up boiling times even more. So tonight, Matthew, I will mostly be eating this British Army 24-hour ration pack. It's menu 5. I've opened it already, and I have divided it up into breakfast, lunch and dinner with snacks and drinks for each. So without further ado, I'm a bit late with the lunch, so I might just do that first and have lunch and dinner tonight. Why not? This is dinner. Let's just start with dinner. Sod it, eh? If you're familiar with these ration packs, you'll know what I'm talking about. They use wet meals, not like dehydrated meals. We've got dessert first, which is just a chocolate pudding in chocolate sauce. For dinner, we've got sweet and sour chicken with rice. Oh, the best. We've got an army hot chocolate, massive sachet of it, and it's, yeah, the best hot chocolate's going, full of all kinds of stuff. We've got a fruit flavoured drink powder, and once again that makes up quite a lot as well. Mango and passion fruit, that's a massive wet wipe, by the way. Yeah, there's a tea with some white sugar and some tea or coffee whitener or creamer. So for lunch, or well, dinner number one, we've got pasta bolognese, we've got biscuits brown, which sounds like a stage name. Getting down with biscuits brown, as Steve says. Sweet biscuits made with wheat bran. They're a bit broken up, but they taste amazing, and yeah, they're like a staple of British Army ration packs. And I think to go with that, we've got a big sachet of cheddar cheese flavour spread, some salted peanuts, fruit flavoured drink powder. This one is lemon. We've got the spalk they give you. It's like a shovel. You could definitely dig a hole with that. Pack of tissues, some stormproof matches. I always save them, they're really useful. Oh, another pack of stormproof matches as well, excellent. Some water purification tablets, which we won't be needing because we've got all our water already. And some spicy red chilli sauce. Ian, do you like stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, do you want that for something?
Yeah, go on then.
Give you that, there you go.
Cheers, my friend.
You never know, we'll spice something up. Some instant coffee and white sugar. There should be a creamer for that somewhere. Some dental gum, i.e. chewing gum. Quite a big pack of that, by the way. And then a fortified energy drink powder, apple flavour. I'll probably save that for tomorrow now, because that'll be useful for the journey home. So that's the lunch and dinner components of this ration pack. I'll try not to bore you with all of it, because I don't want to turn this into a ration pack review video. It's long enough as it is, I'm sure. I'll just give you my thoughts on it and maybe show you little bits and pieces, okay? Enough yakking and let's get snacking. So the biscuits brown are more like bits of biscuit. They're all smashed up. And then that's the cheese spread. It's quite sort of buttery, but I really like it. I'm probably one of the few people that likes it. That's the mango and passion fruit drink. There's coffee with whitener and sugar. The pasta bolognese is warming up on the OEX Hero stove, which has honestly been such a good bit of kit. I'm really pleased I got that. Salted peanuts. I gave Ian some, and his review was, I love nuts. Enough said. So there is the pasta bolognese. It's going to get cold quickly, so I'm going to wolf that down. Looks a little bit oily, not going to lie, but I've had spag bowls like this before from Rat Packs, and yeah, they're all right. Not as good as Dawn's spag bowl though.
Do you know what? I bet that fucking is the Coastguard too.
Yeah. Before I could get a chance to get the camera out, we saw this massive helicopter with lights appearing in the distance, and it looked like it was coming our way or going out towards the sea. It basically stopped above us, like right in front of us, shone these massive searchlights on us for ages, and well, we're pretty sure it was probably the Coastguard. Potentially, like, someone has spotted our lights or something up here and I don't know, grassed us up, and they've sent the Coastguard out, maybe thinking like, you know, we're mucking about or we're in trouble or something. And yeah, they've sent the chopper out, and they've had a look at us for a few minutes, probably thought, well, they don't look like they're in danger, they look like they're having a whale of a time, but like in a harmless way, and then they've sodded off, they've turned around and gone back. So we don't really know what's going to happen. Ian's a little bit concerned. Maybe we should, I don't know, move the tents, or I don't know, like hide in some of the woodland or something, because there's a chance they're probably going to come back if they're going up and down the coast. I mean, they could just be doing routine checks up and down the coast. I've seen that happen before, and they've just happened to have seen us and gone, oh, what are them two doing? Yeah. Probably thought, they don't seem like they're doing any harm, and they'll go. But we don't know, so it's a bit of a risky one.
We'll have a think, won't we?
We'll have a think, yeah. The tents are going to be spotted as well, even if they've not got lights on in them. They're going to spot the tents, because like their searchlights were so bright, they literally lit up this gun battery. So we'll stay put for a little bit and see what happens. But they didn't land, so I don't know, I think maybe they were just trying to intimidate us and make us move on. But well, we may as well have dinner first if we're going to get moved on. Yeah, it was a little bit concerning, and Ian's not 100% comfortable with being here, in case they come back and move us on or whatnot. So we've got some bad news. He's packed up and he's going to head back to the car, which is about a mile away, and he's going to sleep in the car. Yeah. I'm going to be the stupid one and stay here and risk it for a biscuit. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got to respect Ian's decision. If he's not comfortable being here, then that's absolutely fine. I don't blame him, to be honest with you. It was a bit scary, to be fair. Yeah, and
to be absolutely honest with you, it's one of those tough decisions. Either you do or you don't. And either way, you're right or you're wrong. So exactly. But I've decided to make my decision, and I'll come back and pick his lordship up in the morning.
Cheers. I hope so, because I've got no other way of getting home. So
actually, I might just fuck off home then.
Yeah, and you've got all my ciders as well.
I'll see you later then, Tom.
It's not quite how we had it planned out, but that's life, innit, really. Sometimes it happens. You just got to take the crunchy with the smooth.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I'm going to stay here and try and make the most of it. I hope you understand anyway.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
Not a problem, mate, honestly. You do, at the end of the day, this is something we do for fun, for a hobby, so you've got to enjoy doing it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, it's just not worth it, is 100%, it?
100%.
So, no, respect, mate, not a problem. All right.
Cool.
Well then, Ian, I will see you in the morning.
In the morning, yeah. Enough yawning.
See you in the morning.
Yeah.
Ian's just left, so it's just me on my own. It's cider time, a much needed cider time. We've got 2 more God's Hill ciders to review that are here from the Isle of Wight. The first one is called Passion Juice, the medium sweet one. So this is 6%, so it's still quite strong. So this one says, made from a variety of apples, hand-picked on the Isle of Wight, Passion Juice is the sweetest cider in our range. Fiery and full-blooded, it's sure to bring out your amorous side. Oh, I should have had this with Dawn. Anyway, so Yarlington Mill, Pig Snout, Porter's Perfection, Somerset Red Streak, Sweet Cleave, Tan Harvey, Taunton Fairmaid, Town Farm number 59, Tremlett's Bitter, and White Alphington. Loads of apples there. I'm going to dedicate this one to Ian. Thank you for a brilliant weekend, mate. Sorry it's not quite turned out how you wanted it on this final camp, but I respect your decision. Cheers, mate. Cheers to the bottle opener again. Right. Oh, it's got a smell to it. Cheers. It's got flavour. It's flat cider again. This is definitely the nicest one so far, though. This one's actually got a taste, and it's not overpowering, and it's not bland either. It's still not brilliant. I think I'll go as far as a 5 out of 10 on that one. It is drinkable, okay, but I think I'd be nursing this one. I'm just going to do both of them now, I think. Right, now this one, no snigger at the back, is called Lazy Lob, the dry mellow one. 6%, It's a dry cider. I can tell I'm probably not going to like this. Made from apples hand-picked on the Isle of Wight, traditional methods are used to wooden press and ferment. Nothing hurries this cider as it slowly matures. Take the afternoon off and enjoy the dry, mellow one from God's Hill. Once again, same apples as before. No fizz again. And let's dedicate this one to all of you for watching the videos, and if you've donated to the fundraiser as well for the RBLI, thank you very much. If you like this sort of thing and you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing, of course. Cheers. Oh, not as much smell. No. Oh, yeah, there is a flavour, but it's horrid. It's very, very dry. Oh. Yeah, we'll be pouring that one away. It's dry and mellow. There's no sort of sharp taste to it or anything. I think I'm gonna have to give it about 3.5. 3. Yeah. But yeah, this passion juice, 5 out of 10. I'm giving that as probably the best one, and I thought it would be, but it's still far from brilliant, honestly. But I'm glad I've finally got round to drinking these. And what better place to drink them than from the island in which they were created on. I'm probably going to do the hot chocolate from the ration pack. I might have the chocolate pudding as well. I might sit in the tent and have that. I kind of want to keep like a low profile tonight now. I mean, if I do hear a helicopter coming back again, or people or whatever, I'll just keep all the lights switched off, keep quiet. Apparently what Ian was saying with the Coastguard helicopters is apparently they do have thermal imaging cameras on board, so like even if you've got your lights switched off and whatnot, if they don't spot you with the spotlights, the searchlights, then they'll just see your body heat. But yeah, that shook us both up, especially Ian. I don't blame him, like I think probably if I was on my own, if I was somewhere else, if I hadn't driven all the way here, like paid out loads to get on the ferry and all of that, and if I wasn't doing it for charity as well, I think I probably would have just packed up as well and sacked it off. But I thought, I've come too far, I've raised money for this, and I'm just like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I know I'm not meant to be doing this, but like, I'm not, there's people out there doing far worse things, so yeah, I thought, no, I'm staying. I know it's not quite how it was meant to turn out, but it is what it is sometimes, make the best of a bad situation. So that's what we're going to do. Enough yawning, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. All, it's 6:15. I just poked my head out of the tent and I've awoken to probably one of the best, if not the best view I've ever seen while camping in all the years I've been doing this. Definitely not the comfiest spot I've ever picked, but in terms of the view from the tent and I suppose the position of the tent in relation to the background scenery for the purposes of photographing and filming, probably the best, or one of the best ever. I've had my feet propped up, well, basically my entire lower body propped up all night by one of my extra pillows, rucksack, clothing that I wore during the day, everything, and I was still sliding down towards the foot end of the tent and off to the side, towards the seaward side as well, of all things. It was really windy here last night, as you'd probably expect anyway, considering where I've positioned the tent. This was definitely the right choice of tent for this trip. Like, I had enough room to sit up in this, to get changed in it, to unpack. I can pack up in this, I can cook in this. The weight is worth it for the quality of tent that you get, and that's why I'll never get rid of this Van Gogh Helvellyn. I think it's brilliant. If something got damaged on it and I needed to replace the whole tent, I would certainly do that. I'd do it in a heartbeat, definitely. But as a result of it being really windy last night, I was concerned a couple of times. I needn't have been, because the tent was fine, but it plays on your mind, doesn't it? You know that something bad's going to happen. And I just could not get to sleep until about 2:30 in the morning. I've had barely 4 hours sleep. Thank you to everyone that's donated. If you haven't done so already, if you could, that'd be brilliant. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. Help someone that needs it, that's served their country or served our country for you. That's what this charity is all about. That's what the Great Tommy Sleep Out's all about, is helping out the 6,000 plus veterans that are homeless through no fault of their own every year in this country. More drama to the story. Ian did actually return last night with a minimalist setup, he said, in like a drawstring bag. If anyone remembers the drawstring bag challenge, so he bought his Outkit Hunker XL bivvy bag. I've got the exact same one. It's a good bivvy, a thermarest mat, a sleeping bag, it's minimalist kit, and actually dozed here for a couple of hours in time for the sunrise. So yeah, you got about 4 or 5 hours sleep in the car, didn't you? Yeah. Morning, Ian, by the way.
Hello, morning.
He's returned. And yeah, come back here, and I opened the tent door and was like, oh, what are you doing here?
Morning.
Quite a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, so I had 4 or 5 good hours in the car. As I said, last night just wasn't right for me, so took my stuff back, but I couldn't not be here.
Yeah.
I had to be here to finish the sleep out, and also these views, absolutely epic.
It's incredible.
Absolutely incredible, yeah. So I had to be here for sunrise, the views, and obviously to support the RBLI, and also my friend Tom as well.
Cheers,
so,
mate.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. It's been great fun seeing you again, mate. But yeah, we've awoken to just awesome views. It's bitterly cold. The wind is so biting, but we've got the Needles, absolute UK iconic landmark that is, not just of the Isle of Wight but the UK itself. So I don't know if you can make out on the camera, but the mainland over there's some more like white cliffs, and that is supposedly the Jurassic coast, so like Durdle Door. I never ever thought I would see that from a tent. As you can hear behind me, I've got the OEX Hero gas stove working its magic, boiling up some water. Little kitchen area as well. All mod cons on this wild camp. So we're going to have the breakfast component of the ration pack. So we've got fruitful muesli with milk, basically muesli with fruit and milk powder, cookies and cream flavoured like breakfast bar, I'm guessing. I'm going to have this fortified energy drink powder, which is apple, a tea, whitener and sugar, another drink mix, which is apple flavour. I could just mix both of them together and make one big drink. Another wet white. Also got some instant coffee as well. Enough yakking, and let's get snacking. Very nice. So here is the outcome of the fruitful muesli with milk. Not gonna lie, it's not the best. The fruit is the best bit, but you can't really fuck fruit up, can you? But the muesli itself has got a very bland, overpoweringly bland taste of like dried milk powder, and it just tastes cheap. and a bit sawdusty, but it's calories all the same. The coffee, I actually quite enjoyed the coffee. It was quite refreshing, just 1 sugar in it, and I don't really like coffee normally. Probably most coffee enthusiasts would say that shit coffee that you get in the ration packs. I've made up the final hot drink of the ration pack, the tea with a sugar, and that's actually always quite nice, the tea's in there. The hot chocolate though last night was next level. Concrete foundations are all that remain of Hatherwood Battery. Built in the 1860s, the fort was, along with the Needles Old Battery, part of a network of coastal defences. There were 6 gun emplacements, but 2 have slipped down the undercliff. The fort was a deterrent, but never saw active service. It closed in 1903. We're back at Ian's car. It was a really good mile walk, stunning scenery, probably one of the best bits of the coast path, no doubt, and yeah, it's just got me more and more looking forward to coming back here and doing the Isle of Wight coastal path. We have got to be back at East Cowes for the Red Funnel ferry crossing, to check in for about 11 AM, so we've got loads of time. It's probably like a half-hour drive from here, and then the hour's ferry crossing, so you'll see us at the ferry terminal. So we've made it onto the ferry and we're up on, is it deck B?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And we're just waiting for the ferry to head off now and leave East Cowes ferry terminal and head back across the Solent. So yeah, we'll be then heading up into the docks from the Solent to Southampton, where this video will conclude. So I want to say a big thank you to Ian for being my guide and accomplice on this fantastic weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday adventure on the Isle of Wight. It's my first time visiting the island and it has been brilliant. I actually would want to live here. It's really cool. It's absolutely magical.
Beautiful place, yeah.
Really good. So yeah, thank you for showing us all the sights and yeah, just being great company.
My pleasure. No, thank you. It's been good fun.
We've had some dramas and all kinds of things. It's been brilliant. It's one of these ones I don't think we'll forget in a hurry.
No way.
We'll have stories to tell from this for the rest of our days. Yeah. Thank you to everyone that's donated as well to our fundraiser for the RBLI Great Tommy Sleep Out.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I think as it stands we're up to £155 at the moment, so there's still time left to donate if you haven't done so already. It goes to a fantastic cause, like I say, helping our veterans out that have served our country and, you know, giving us, I suppose, the freedom and liberty that we have, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, they deserve our support. So it's for a good cause. Yeah, if you could donate, I'll leave links in the description below. Finally, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching the video. If you've watched up this far, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. If you've not subscribed already, please do, that would be brilliant. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave us a nice comment, share the video if you can as well. Thank you very much for watching and joining us on this brilliant adventure. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, be nice to one another, get outside and do stuff. Cheers.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
With war and conflict, end up with, you know, like I say, drug, alcohol issues. Oh, it's not mine, I hope. It's not, no. There's always one car alarm that goes off on these ferries, I've noticed. Jobs. Whoa, that was quick. It's getting windy. Cheers, Ian.
Right.
Yeah, and Ian will also. Shut up. Yeah, hopefully you can still hear me because it's really, really windy here now.